2 points this evening. The first, any of you remember the movie, The Karate Kid? Daniel-san wanted to be a karate master. And he went to see the karate master named Miyagi. And Miyagi had him wash and wax his car. And Daniel's scratching his head, saying, "You're not teaching me karate." He had him paint the fence. And Daniel scratched his head and said, "You're not teaching me karate." So, at the last challenge, Miyagi said, "Stand up. Show me wax on." Wax on. And he showed him wax on as he deflected a kick, and wax off as he deflected another kick. He learned karate from doing these menial tasks. Daniel-san's ways were not Miyagi's ways. God's ways are not our ways. And that is really brought forth very much in our parable for this evening. A wonderful parable about justice, mercy, and generosity. I have some family friends in Albany, New York, who have 8 children. While I was a seminarian, I worked in their parish. And occasionally, they invited me to Sunday dinner. The mother, when I was there for dinner, would make 2 10-inch pies, apple usually. Although we discovered one my 4th year when I was there, called blueberry rhubarb, to die for. The kids called it blueberry rhubarb. Anyway, try as Mom might, she could not get that pie in equal slices so that one child didn't say, "You got more than me," or "He got more than me, and I want that more, I want that plate, I want that plate." Again, they wanted more, they wanted what the other had. A question of mercy and justice. A little lesson for us tonight. It's an old rabbinic tale about a farmer that had 2 sons. As soon as they were old enough to walk, he took them to the fields and he taught them everything that he knew about growing crops and raising animals. When he got too old to work, the 2 boys took over the chores of the farm. And when the father died, they had found their working together so meaningful that they decided to keep their partnership. So each brother contributed what he could, and during every harvest season, they would divide equally what they had corporately produced. Across the years, the elder son never married, stayed a bachelor. The younger brother did marry and had 9 wonderful children. Some years later, when they were having a wonderful harvest, the old bachelor brother thought to himself one night, "My brother has 11 mouths to feed. I only have 1. He really needs more of his harvest than I do. But I know he is much too fair to renegotiate. I know what I'll do. In the dead of the night, when he is already asleep, I'll take some of what I have put into my barn and slip it over into his barn to help him feed his children." At the very time he was thinking down that line, the younger brother was thinking to himself, "God has given me these wonderful children. My brother hasn't been so fortunate. He really needs more of this harvest for his old age than I do. But I know him. He's much too fair. He'll never renegotiate. I know what I do. I'll do. In the dead of night, when he's asleep, I'll take some of what I've put in my barn and slip it over into his barn." And so, one night, when the moon was full, as you may have already anticipated, those 2 brothers came face to face, each on a mission of generosity. The old rabbi said that there wasn't a cloud in the sky and a gentle rain began to fall. Do you know what it was? He said, it was God weeping for joy because 2 of his children had gotten the point. 2 of his children had come to realize that generosity is the deepest characteristic of the holy. And because we are made in God's own image, our being generous is the secret to our joy as well. Life is not fair, thank God. It's not fair because it's rooted in grace. Do you know that life is not fair? The 3 most often used words in the English language. It's not fair. It's not fair that Quinn has long, beautiful blonde hair and can sing so beautifully, and I can't. And my hair is gone. It's not fair that one of the 2 thieves strung up and crucified next to Jesus got to go to heaven after a terrible, awful life. It's not fair. It's not fair that a man named Augustine got to go and become a saint. His mother prayed that he would. But he waited so long in life, and God was still generous to him. This is his prayer from his confessions. Late have I loved you, O beauty ever ancient, ever new. Late have I loved you. You were within me, but I was outside, and it was there that I searched for you. In my unloveliness, I plunged into the lovelier things which you created. You were with me, but I was not with you. Created things kept me from you. Yet if they had not been in you, they would have not been at all. You called, you shouted, and you broke through my deafness. You flashed, you shone, and you dispelled my blindness. You breathed your fragrance on me. I drew in breath, and now I pant for you. I have tasted you now. I hunger and thirst for more. You touched me, and I burned for your peace.